Yo, it's RedCooteay, and I'm back with another video today. Like a little over a month ago, I dropped a video talking about my favorite prospects for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and today I'm going to be dropping another video talking about 3 or 4 more prospects now that some time has passed that I would also like for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and now that we know that we for sure have the number 12 pick. Obviously, there's a chance we could still move up or that we could be involved in a trade, but these are 4 prospects that I would like in this year's NBA draft for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But before I continue, if you're new to the channel, I ask that you can subscribe, drop a like on the video, comment your thoughts, and share the video with a friend. Obviously, we're not going to agree on everything, and if there are some players here, or some players that are not here, like Jarris Walker, Taylor Hendricks, Grady Dick, that is because they were in my first video. Make sure to check that out. I'll have the link in my bio. Without further ado, let's get on to the next 3 or 4 prospects that I think would be great for our Oklahoma City Thunder. So the first prospect I'm going to talk about is someone that we'd probably have to trade up for, and that's Ausar Thompson, a 6'7" wing out of the Overtime Elite League with a 7-foot wingspan.
Ausar Thompson averaged roughly 16 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds per game in the Overtime Elite League this season, 2.4 steals per game and 1.1 blocks per game as well, about 30% from the 3-point line and 66% from the free throw line. His per 40 stats and his playoff stats will be showing up on the screen about now, and Ausar is basically a very gifted athlete whose burst and explosion helps him get to the rim, especially in transition. Thompson is a great leaper and is very springy, which helps him finish above defenders at the rim. Thompson is a disruptive defender on and off the ball, whose athleticism and 7-foot wingspan allows him to guard multiple positions. He has good instincts and is a talented shot blocker for his position. He led the OTE in total blocks this past season. Thompson is definitely capable of and would help us play at an up-tempo fast pace with his speed and secondary playmaker ability. He's got the ability to push the ball down the court off a rebound, and he's super hard to stay in front of in transition. He's able to get to the rim or make the right pass on the break more times than not, including deep outlet passes. Everyone around the Thompsons claim that their work ethic is top tier and that they're willing to do whatever it takes to patch their flaws and be great. The biggest concerns with Ausar Thompson's game is the level of competition he played against in the Overtime Elite League and his shooting ability and off-ball offense. He is a willing cutter, and his athleticism and bounce could help him serve as a lob threat and could help him get some easy buckets finishing at the rim, especially playing alongside the talented playmakers in Oklahoma City. Throughout the OTE playoffs, Ausar shot 15 out of 39, which is just under 39% on 3-point attempts. Ausar Thompson is definitely a prospect that could be a connective piece for us, and maybe one day even more. His defensive potential, playmaking, and athleticism could help us now and in the future.
If we are to stay at pick number 12, my favorite prospect for us there is Bilal Kulabali from France. He is currently teammates with Victor Wembanyama. There's conflicting reports on whether or not he's 6'6" or 6'8". He's got great length, and I'm going to tell you guys why I want him on our Oklahoma City Thunder.
Recently, all eyes have been on Kulabali, and he's been flying up draft boards. There's rumors of a promise later in the lottery, and many believe it to be from the Thunder. One of the first things you'll notice watching Kulabali is his long wingspan, which helps him finish at the rim and disrupt defensively. He's got a good handle for his size and has shown self-creation potential, but right now, his on-ball offensive game could still improve. Although, in my opinion, I don't believe that he is as raw as some are saying, and I think he could provide serviceable minutes right away for the Thunder. A lot of people instantly throw international prospects into the project category, but the rapid development we've seen from him is outstanding, and he's further along than most realize. He's a willing cutter who fills open spaces on offense well with his great athleticism and length. He's able to attack closeouts, and he's a creative finisher. His 3-ball has room for improvement, but he can definitely hit it. He's very smooth on the court, and his potential is sky high. Given the opportunity, he'll be able to help a team defensively right away. He's able to guard multiple positions and will be able to score the easy buckets right away at least. Give him enough reps, and you'll continue to see his offensive game polished to greater levels. One of his coaches had to say, "Bilal is one of the most talented players I've had the chance to coach. He is smart, he works, he is humble, he has that drive to become a beautiful player. In my team, he could score 40, 50 points easily. I challenged him all the time. During this quarter, you will only be able to use your left hand. During the next quarter, you will only make plays for your teammates." And I think that shows us that instead of scoring easily, Kulabali pushes himself to improve in other areas that he may not already excel in. Kulabali's length and fluidity could help the Thunder on both ends of the ball. His potential is sky high, and with time and reps, could become a very focal piece of the Thunder's future.
The last prospect that I'm going to give a little bit more analysis on is Chiante George, a 6'4" combo guard out of Baylor.
For Baylor this season, Chiante George averaged roughly 15 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and the percentages weren't as great as you'd like, about 38% from the field, 34% from 3 on 7 attempts per game, and 79% from the free throw line. And that's definitely one of the biggest takeaways in scouting Chiante George, the inconsistency concerns and poor shot selection at times. But there is a lot of good that you can take from watching him as well. He has a shifty handle which allows him to get to his spots well and is a very creative and confident player on the offensive side of the ball. Chiante thrives with the ball in his hands and scores well in isolation situations. He loves pull-up jumpers, but at times he can have tunnel vision and do a little bit too much. He does have 3-level scorer potential, and he does a solid job at drawing fouls when attacking the rim. He has nice, consistent mechanics on his jump shot, which leads me to believe that he can also play off the ball in movement sets. George isn't a great passer or playmaker, but I believe that in OKC, where he wouldn't be asked to be the lead guard, this could be alright playing alongside other great playmakers. Another area that George could improve in is on the defensive end. He isn't the worst defender by any means, but he's pretty undersized to guard bigger guards, but if he's surrounded by other plus defenders, there's many scenarios where you wouldn't have to worry about that. His offensive upside and shot creation potential could put him in position to thrive in a microwave sixth man role for the Thunder, and maybe one day he could be winning Sixth Man of the Year awards for us. With his offensive talent and craftiness, there are definitely other teams where he could end up as a starter for, but in Oklahoma City, I think he would be a great sixth man that can score in bunches for us when needed.
Someone that I've mocked before to the Thunder is Jet Howard of Michigan, a 6'8" wing with great shooting ability. I do believe that his stock has fallen a little bit. I still like him. I've got him in the 14 to 17 range on my draft board. I'm not exactly sure where I have him right now, but he's someone that I would prefer to trade down for a little bit more after diving into a little bit more film. If he was the pick at 12, I wouldn't hate it, but I also think it'd be a little bit of a reach. He's not very bursty. He's not a great playmaker. He's not a great defender. I'd be okay with him if we took him in if we were a few picks back, but at 12 I think it'd be a little bit of a stretch. Another player that I think would be a little bit of a stretch, but I wouldn't mind ending up on the Thunder somehow, is Sidy Cissoko out of the G League Ignite. He's a 6'8" wing. Some people think of him as a guard. I think he's definitely projects more to be a wing at the next level. He's a good secondary playmaker. He's a good athlete. He's shown signs of an improved jumper, but I do think 12 would be a little bit of a reach. I think he's another player where if we made a trade to get into the later part of the first round, he'd be a good selection there. I do have him in the top 20 range on my draft board, but I'd prefer not to pick him with the number 12 pick. I'm not too sure how ready he is to produce right away, and I'm looking for someone that's a little bit more ready to produce. Speaking of my big board, you can find that on my Twitter at RedCooteay. I posted it a few days ago, so you might have to scroll a little bit, but I don't tweet that much, so you should be able to find it pretty easily in the media tab. I have it tiered on there, so it's like colors signify tiers, and basically if two prospects are in the same tier, you could convince me either way. I think when you're in the same tier on a draft board, it has a lot to do with opportunity and where you're drafted to. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. And if we don't use our 37th pick in a trade, there are some players I'd like to target there. I figured I'd touch on them real quick. Kobe Jones out of Xavier, I think that there's absolutely no chance he falls to 37, but a few mock drafts that I've seen have him falling, and if he's on the board at 37 and we don't select him, I'll be very, very disappointed. I think that he's a first round lock for sure. I believe I have him 26 on my board. He is definitely ready to contribute right away. Like I said, I'd be very, very surprised come draft night if he's still on the board at 37. But if he is, you cannot pass on him, in my opinion. If we don't end up drafting Grady Dick or Jordan Hawkins with our pick in the first round, I wouldn't mind selecting Julian Strother, a good shooter, a good shooting wing that's able to play off the ball well. He is from Gonzaga. He played with Chet Holmgren, so there'd be a cool connection there. I think obviously the more shooters, the merrier. Obviously that's something we've lacked over our history, really. A shooter would be able to help, of course, with Shea and Giddey and J-Dub getting downhill. I think it's nice that we're going to have a center that's going to be able to stretch the floor a little bit more than we've had before in Chet And I think that Julian Strawther could be a very good selection for us that could help contribute right away if he's our pick at number 37. Another player that I would like at 37 is Marcus Sasser, Houston guard. He is a good shooter, a good leader, a good defender. At the combine, he measured 6'1", but he has a 6'7" wingspan. I don't know if he'll be on the board at 37. I have him with the first round grade. I think that he's someone that can help run our offense off the bench a little bit if he's still on the board at 37, and if he's our pick there, I think that he could help our bench unit a lot. Another player that intrigues me in the second round is Olivier Maxence Prosper. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's from Marquette. He's one of 5 players, I believe it is, that had over 38 dunks and three-point makes this past season. He is a 6'8", athletic, energetic forward with, I believe, a 7'1" wingspan. He could fill that 4 position for us, not necessarily as a starter, but someone that we could sub in to get some energetic hustle plays. He performed very well at the combine, and because of that, he has shot up draft boards. And I think that he's someone that can help get some minutes, some spot minutes when needed, off of our bench. And also Tristan Vucevic. I'm intrigued by his size, his stretchability, and his shot blocking capabilities, and I wouldn't hate if he's a pick there. Obviously, we have the number 50 pick as well. I'm not too sure who will be there, especially with a lot of people pulling out. The second round is always unpredictable. A lot of people are returning to school, so the draft board got slimmer and slimmer. I believe that my draft board was at roughly 75 people, 75 players, and then so many of them went back to school that it was down to like 60. So at number 50, I guess we'll have to see how the draft plays out. I like Ben Shepherd. I don't think he'll be there at 50. So thank you guys for watching. Everybody have a good rest of your day, and peace out.